Good morning, good afternoon. Raquel Redmond from Brava Art Press, presenting a video tutorial on printmaking. Printmaking for young children, but also for adults. Here I have some samples of printing with this foam. This is called multiple printing, where you print several times in different colors. This is a single print. And also for those people who would like to do greeting cards, we can do some printing on paper and then cut it up. I'll show you everything about it. We will talk about art materials now. To do this project, we need certain things. We need the paint, which is this one here. It's called Chroma 2. It's a very good paint. It got very, very good coverage, as you can see on this piece of paper. A roller to roll out the paint, a big tray to roll out the paint. I'll show you in the process. The food trays that come from the supermarket, paper. We are going to use A4 white paper to print on, but it could be any size if you are using a bigger piece of foam like this one, or it could be a butcher's paper or newsprint paper, magazines, any kind of paper. We need a big tip marker. It could be, I'm using black for the camera, but it could be any marker from the classroom or at home, any color. A blunt pencil, a ruler, and a sharp knife. This is for mom and dad or for the teacher to prepare the trays. Now I'd like to show you how do we go about using these trays, because we are going to work on the assumption that we are using trays from the kitchen. So here we have that size. They are a smaller size, like half. So in terms of size, we are going to think of a postcard size to do our project. Here there is a postcard size paper, and what I did here, I placed the paper on the tray, and then I outlined the size of the paper, and then another one. So that means that on each tray, from each tray of this size, we are going to get two printing blocks. Here we have the tray. This is a task for your teacher or your mom or dad to do. We are cutting this to start with like this, to create a flat piece of foam, cutting the edges like that, and then we have a flat piece of foam to establish our size. So about postcard size, then you can get the flat piece of tray and start drawing around. I'm using a black felt pen so you can see on the camera. So this will take two pieces. So this will be enough for 2 students. And then when you have done that, or probably your teacher will do that before you start actually working on this project, she will have, or he will have everything prepared. We're using the ruler, cut a straight line here, and another line there, and one in the middle, like so. So we have 2 pieces here, and we do some drawing. We're going to do some drawing here, and don't forget that you can also use the back. So you can do 2 prints, 2 different images. Here I have one that I have done a drawing with black pen on the front, and another drawing on the back. Something really, really simple. You can do just shapes like this or like that, shapes and textures, or you could do something more complex if you are in grade 6, 7, or even in grade 8, or if mom wants to do printing herself. It could have a story. Like here we have a dog and a child riding on the dog, and 2 chooks or chickens running there, and a tree on the landscape. In this section, I'll show you how to actually do the drawing and also how to carve these examples that I have here. This is the one that we talked about that mom or dad might be, or your teacher might like to do with a bit more, or if you are in grade 6 or 7, this is a bit more complex. And this one here is simple, just shapes, lines, and textures. And also I'll get rid of this piece of cardboard that I used to cut the tray. Here is something that I have done before, as I show you, a drawing. And with the pencil, this is called a preparation to print, block preparation. So you are actually preparing your foam block to print with a drawing and then carving, but this carving is going to be done with a very blunt pencil. So what you have to do is just press hard like that and do those textures. Press in, press in, press in, press, press. And when you have lines, always this way, always towards you like this, pressing hard, and then you can run your finger and feel the different textures that you have created with the pencil. Another line here, another line there, there, and we have a swirl here, so I'll do the swirl. You must remember that you have to press hard, otherwise it's not going to, the print is not going to come up as a good print. So more lines there, there, there. And just touch your lines to make sure that you have done all your lines, carving a bit more there, a bit more here, like that, like that. And if mom is enthusiastic about this, or dad wants to do something, it's the same process. Just do your drawing in black pen or any felt pen that you have at home or in the classroom, and then start to applying all of these textures, all these lines, by pressing hard with the pencil like this. This section is about printing. How do we print? And also I'll talk a bit about room preparation. The preparation for your design can be done at your desk, but when the time comes to print, you will need a table dedicated to that printing, to deal with the paint, to put the tray for the paint and the printing, and another area, another table where we have clean paper, and it's going to be the clean area, and when you actually do the actual printing. And then another area where you can hang your print. That could be a clothes rack, something very simple. This is a very simple printmaking workshop. So now we're going to print. There is our tray, our foam block. This is an old one that I have. The tray in this position, so we can roll out the paint here and then apply on this other side. I have this very good containers. They are takeaway containers, food containers, which are available everywhere these days. They have a lid, and they are perfect for this kind of activity because you can put it away and use the paint another day. I also have a water spray. If you don't have this kind of water spray, any water spray from the kitchen or the laundry will do. This water is we are going to use to clean up. So using the paint from this plastic container here, we are going to pick up the paint with a roller, and we are going to roll out the paint. Not pressing hard, not pressing down, just roll out, because we have to allow the roller to roll out the paint. So we're going to apply this way here, and a bit more paint on our painting area here, and rolling. You notice that I'm rolling that way and this way, so you cover all the edges and all the corners. Now we're going to print. There are several ways to print. We can do a multiple print, as I showed you before at the beginning of the session, like that. We can do a single print like that, or a print that is going to become a card. We are going to start with the multiple print. When you start for the multiple print, the block is all inked up, and we're going to put it upside down. Press down. When you press down, the paint and the paper will stick together. Turn it over, and with your hand, no fingers, no knuckles, with that bit part of your hand that's cushioned there, you're going to gently rub like that, holding with the other hand so the paper doesn't go away, and lift. So there we have our first print of this multiple printing process. After you have printed the first color, with the water spray the water, just a little bit, not a lot. Rags are very important. It's important to have rags because it's mess-free, as you can see, no mess. Just wipe it clean a little bit, put it in position. This is my second tray. I have one tray per color, so I have 3 colors, 3 trays. Now we're using the red, the same process again, rolling up and down and applying into the block a bit more paint. When you apply the paint, it shouldn't be too much or too little, because it's not going to work if you have too much, because all the paint is going to go on those grooves that you created when you press down with the pencil. So we put the paint this side, bring back our print, and do exactly the same again. It doesn't matter if it's overlap, because overlapping creates more color. So press down, turn it over. This is very good to clean your hands now with your rag. Everybody should have a piece of rag, by the way. And with the cushion of your hand, rub gently like that, no pressing hard, and lift. So there is the multiple print going on. Now we have a bit of paint on the table. Just rub it off like that and get ready for the third color. Again, spraying with water and wipe it clean. Now this activity, this printmaking activity in the classroom can be done in small group of 5 or 6 students at a time. If you are at home, you can work with mom or dad or your brother or your sister, but in the classroom it's better just to have a limited number of students working at the same time, because the whole class of 25 students will be a shemosul. So change color, we're going for the blue now. The same thing, extending the paint, rolling out the paint like that, and then applying that way and applying across, so everything is covered. Put the tray away, bring the print and do another, and at different position, it doesn't matter. Press down, and by pressing down is really, really safe, because both things stick. The paper and the block will stick. There is no danger of the block moving if you are gentle. Or holding with your other hand like that and pulling out. That's how it's going. And we're going to do one more color. Clean your surface with a rag, and I'll print another yellow. Here we are. And this time, I'm not going to clean the block. I'll leave the blue there, because blue and yellow makes, you guess, green. So I'm creating a different color just by leaving a bit of the other color there. So there we have our green. Put the tray away and print overlapping your color there. You can overlap that way and turn and rubbing with the cushion of your hand like that again and pull. So that is a very beautiful repetition print, I call. You can keep going and print on the sides, on the other side, doing a sort of more overlapping, because the more you overlap, the more colors you create. So I'm just doing this without putting more paint, just to show you what will happen. This is a bit tricky because there is paint there. So I'm using my fingers on the edge. Lift up, and I created more colors, more textures. That is a repetition print. When working with very young children, it's important to have a design like this, where you have used the block and marked the size of the block right on the center. This is for a single print. I'll clean my block before I do the single print. Again, in the classroom, it's better to do it always flat, so you can control that, because this foam can break easily. So you have to be careful with that. Our surface here is becoming messier and messier, but I got my good rag, so by doing that, the paint is dry and doesn't print on the paper, doesn't mess up the paper. So the same thing again. I'll do probably red for this single print. Around here, put some paint that way, exactly the same, and put the in. I'm just using the trays in front of the camera, but in the classroom you have to have the trays spread out on your table. This is the pattern here. This is where you put the block. Is facing up this time. This is for very young students. Right in the middle there, and the paper will match. The paper is the same size as the paper with this drawing and where the block is positioned. So you match that edge with this edge and then rub gently again, the same with your the cushion of your hand, holding the paper with the other hand and lift. And that is a single print. Now we will do a card. To do the card, we have to take the block and draw around, and with the line on the middle to remind you that it's a card. So use it once, use it twice, and the card will go like that. So you make a big X here, a big mark where you have to print, where you have to place your actual block. If you put the block like that, it will be upside down. The same operation again. Up and down, rolling out, applying paint to the block. It's called the block in printmaking. Lift up. And this is the base for the card printing. So it goes like that, facing up, and the paper will come right there. Match that edge with the edge of the other piece of paper. Press down and print gently with the flat hand. If you print knuckles, if you use fingers, you will get marks. So it's much better to gently use the cushion of your hand to print like this. and that is what is going to be your card later on. You are going, when it's dry, you just fold it like that and cut it around, like I did with this one. This one is exactly as has been done exactly in the same way. Dry, cut it around, fold it, and it's a beautiful greeting card, Christmas card, birthday card, Easter card, whatever you like to do. This has been our presentation on printmaking for young children and also for adults. This is one of the prints that we have done today, and the card here. This is the paint that we used, Chroma 2, very good paint for this kind of project. And happy printing! If you are interested in more printing video tutorials, visit our website www.bravaartpress.com, and also see us on YouTube. We have more video tutorials on YouTube. Thank you very much.